So we're live. We good to go.
Hey, whatever it is, that's what it is. That's what
so,
it is.
so I guess let's check in. We were doing that before we started streaming. But how you doing? What's up with you? What's been going on?
Well, hey, like I said, I'm spectacularly well. Hey, it could be a lot worse, so I won't complain about the good that I'm in. And hopefully everybody else is good who's tuning in today to the
Yes.
SIP to the SIP podcast with J Bay. I'm excited to
Yes.
be I'm excited to be a guest.
Me too. Me too. Look, I'm a guest too. Listen, we all in the hot seat all the time. But I don't know if you got a chance to see the last little thing I screenshotted and popped into um the chat we have, but I'm gonna kick that off so you can start talking about that and give us your thoughts on that, and then I'll chime in and I'm gonna take a moment to share this out as well. But what it was, this guy was on I saw it on Instagram. This guy was in the passenger seat while I guess his attempted fiance was driving, and I say attempted because he proposed and I guess she turned him down. And it appeared to all intent and purpose that he was trying to shame her. So it was a quick little video snippet. I guess they had been together about 10 years. And she didn't like the ring and the fact that he proposed while they were literally driving down the road. Like there was no pomp, no circumstance, no romance, no planning, no nothing other than here's this ring.
Yeah, I mean, but let me ask you this though, before you get too deep into it. Do you
Yeah.
think it has to be? Because I think, well, regardless of how a person proposed to you in the ring size, they basically expressing that I want to be with you for the rest of our lives. And I think that's bigger than any piece of jewelry, any mall setting, restaurant, or whatever you can do. Just by them being them and want to share that. Now, I don't agree with them being online, but I respect it though because I guess you love that person that much to express it in front of everybody. The speed limit is 25
So he
miles.
wasn't live when he proposed. He went live to call her out because of her response.
Well,
Right.
hurt. When people hurt, man, it's kind of hard to say what they should or shouldn't do or would or wouldn't do, Rob.
Well, so my issue with it was um I think there's no right or wrong. I think you have to know your person, right? There are some
Mm.
women that don't care about pomp and circumstance or romance. There are some women that don't care about the place or the location or the size of the ring, right? Or anything like that. They just want the ring. They just love you, whatever, whatever, whatever. But there are some women that do. And I think
Mm.
we have to be able to act like adults, right? And that's the issue. Her response to him, from what I could gather, was she felt some type of way that, first of all, nigga, I've been telling you this for 5 years. And it took you 5 years to finally propose after 5 years of being together. And the best you could do was wait till we were driving down the road and throw it out at me like, here you go. So I guess she felt like it was just him doing it to shut her up, not that, hey, I really love you and I want to do this with you. And his response was, I wasn't ready, but I'm ready now, and it shouldn't matter. Like I'm giving you the ring now.
And
So my
I agree with him. I totally agree with him too because, all right, here it is.
yeah.
J Bay need a mortgage paid, need a light phone, gas, water, whatever bill paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the bill was due by the second of this month. Now it
Mm-hmm.
ain't coming on status, but it ain't been paid. So all
Okay.
of a sudden you mad, you bitching, you got a couple phone calls, couple letters. Then I show up one day, March the 30th. It's
Mm-hmm.
paid. It's paid now. So do you holler, well, hey, I appreciate you paying it, but it took you so long to pay it. But it's paid now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, sometimes I believe in leaving well enough alone. Because sometimes I believe people make these situations more than what they really are.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if he did propose to you, if that was your real big issue, why did you even stay with him?
Well, and that was my next point. I think that was just a relationship that probably should have come to an end prior to that point. But
Yeah.
you dig your heels in, you want to stick it out. You maybe they really loved each other. I don't know, but I felt like at that point that was clearly something she was disgruntled and resentful about, and I don't know his motive or his intention, but again, I think we have to know our person. As a woman, if you want a man to propose, you have to know whether that man is the type to even be able to plan something. Because some people, man or woman, just don't have the capacity to think through, to project management, to put the emotional intelligence into it, to backtrack themselves and do all these things to plan out something extravagant. So if you want that type of experience, that's just not the person that's going to be able to give it to you. You either got to let that go or help them plan it or tell them who to get help from when it's time to plan it. I think
Yep.
as men, they have to know their woman or whoever, because it might be a man proposing to a man. Doesn't matter. Whoever is proposing and whoever's being proposed to, I think we have to have the conversation on what do you expect? What do you want? What do you need? Because at the end of the day, it's just as much about the person proposing as it is about the person being proposed to. And both people should walk away happy with that experience because it is a memory. I'm not gonna say it's the most important day of your life, but it is a memory that you want to look back on and feel good about. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's late or on time, whether it's extravagant or not, doesn't matter as much as have you communicated with your person to figure out what they need and co-create that with them. And if you don't, I think as a man, if you want to propose to a woman, but you don't want to do it in the way that she wants, the question to me is why? If it's a financial issue, then downscale it. Figure out what would speak to her soul and her heart and still do something along that levels, but within your budget. It's not about the cost of the ring, but maybe he can drive to the beach and propose. Maybe he can get her, some custom made gift or whatever. But why
Okay.
you
Well,
want to be with a woman that you don't want to give her what she wants? Like
okay.
that's
Well,
my question.
let me ask you this though. So does it change some when you say, um, when you ask me to propose a certain way, or I propose the way that I feel comfortable in proposing to say?
I
I
think
mean,
it's
because,
selfish to only say I'm only going to do it this way because this is the way that I want to do it. I think that's selfish.
yeah, I mean, but wouldn't that be selfish on both ends though?
That's why I said communication. I don't think there's a right or wrong. Let's just say, piggybacking off of that example, let's just say you got a woman or a person. We're just going to say a person, and that person loves extravagant things. They love big gestures, and they love all the glitz and glam. And the person that's proposing, their person, their partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, knows, you know what, that's not really my thing. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm low key, I'm quiet, I'm introverted, whatever. Those two people need to have a conversation because at some point that's going to clash, whether it's the engagement, whether it's the wedding day, at any point, buying a house, any point in the relationship, it's going to clash because you have two people with two very different ideas of how they want to experience things. So
That's right.
that being said, I feel like conversation can handle all of that because there's compromise. If I'm big and popping stance and this person isn't, compromise. Maybe not have a big crowd, but go all out with the decorative aspect of it. Or you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's a way for both parties to be happy, but when one party says, well, I want it and this is the only way, I think that's selfish. Whether it's the fiance that's being proposed to or the fiance that's proposing, I think it's selfish.
Well, hey, I think it's a little selfishness up in there, but sometimes, regardless on a moment like that, I think it should be accepted either or because they chose you. Just like
Right.
you got to choose them, like you said, it is a billion other options.
At that point, it's kind of like suck it up.
Yeah, I
Man,
mean, for real. You gotta get out your feelings too sometimes.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I think it's a key indication of if this person knows that this is a really important day for you and they're just hell bent on, I don't give a fuck how you feel and what you want, this how I'm gonna do it because this is what I said. Then
well,
to me, you need to figure out if that's the person that you really want to be with. Because some things just aren't that big to fight over. Like if this is gonna make this woman or this man feel good, do it. Like why not want to propose in such a way that the person that you say that you love, because it's not about the proposal, it's about feelings and emotions. It's about are you willing to do things that nurtures their soul. That's how I look at it.
well, you're right. You're absolutely correct. But the thing is, I think people put too much effort in minuscule things like that. Now I'm making light of it, saying it's
Mhm,
minuscule because what's big to me may be small to others and vice versa. But
mhm,
at the
mhm.
same time, it's like a man come to you and say, "Baby, I want to marry you," and all you can worry about is where you did it, how you did it, what about who done seen it, what side the ring is. I just don't think that's the most important thing. Because if you talking about he got to lead, he may be leading you into saying, let's not worry about this, but I'm gonna surprise you with a new house that you've been talking about for 5 years ago. I just think certain things is just a little bit more important than others. Not saying that she's wrong if she feel a certain way about the size of the ring, what, when, how.
Mhm.
Because I could have said, you know what, baby, I tell you what, I already see what this relationship gonna be like. So let me get out of it and let you find a man that'll buy the biggest ring ever.
See,
And I
that's
just
all I'm
move on
saying.
with a little bit more appreciative. Because to me, I just don't think you can dictate, and it's on either side on how I supposed to show my love to you. I may
Yep.
be in the real estate. I may be in the buying cars, buying all this because after I do get you your ring and do it in front of that Red Lobster over there on the hill with all my friends present and everybody was invited after I do all of that. Next, you're gonna want your house or a car. And then what if I say, hey man, I ain't got it. Shit. I'm still paying on that ring. I got 4 more years on this ring. Now you're gonna feel a certain kind of way about that because you might have outgrown the neighborhood. You might have outgrown the house. To me, I just think let him do his thing, and then y'all can start working towards some other stuff. I mean, I just look at it
Yeah.
just that simple because it's almost like sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of shit trying to be so picky on something that we just can't see past. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what is a ring for real? You got the
Yeah.
person we talking about a ring. You talking about a piece of jewelry that might even be fake.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's my point, right? Because at the end of the day, what do you value? Those two people, they're going to be the ones that have to live together, right? They're going to be the ones that have to communicate and navigate the ups and downs of life. And so at the end of the day, what do you value? For me, when I look at it, I like nice things. Now, I don't want a ring where I got to look at it and figure out where it is, but I don't need the biggest thing either because I value assets. So I would rather have the house or the land or the trust being put in
Yeah.
place to make sure that should one of us pass, we covered. You know what I'm saying? I want the life insurance policies and all those things, but those are the things that I value. Now, that's not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some
And
people are going to
even,
prioritize that day a little bit more.
and even though it ain't the priority of everybody, but it should.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, a ring and all that, that's cool. But what if you do go all out the way and get the ring and do all the stuff that you want? He went all out the way, but we still stay in a in an awkward situation. We stay in
yep,
somewhere that we don't really want.
very
So it's
true.
like he went out his way and outside of his common sense to do exactly what his bride to be want for just herself at the end of the day. So now you put him up under stress, you put him up under a lot of pressure just to try to satisfy you. I think that's extremely selfish.
I think it's selfish on both sides. I don't.
Uh,
I don't
one
think
side,
you.
one side heavier than the other though. You're right,
No,
but one side a little heavier than the other though. I think.
no. So,
Yeah,
and the reason I wanted to talk about this because I feel like it leads to the larger issue of communication. Right? It's just a symptom of the communication. We got a comment. I've been married 21 years. Her ring came from Rent a Center, and my ring came from Walmart, $100. And see, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Thank you for saying that, Jason. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Because if
mm,
you know what your common goals are, if you know, okay, we're starting here, this is where we're trying to go, this is what we're working on, this is what our intentions, whether that's to buy a house, whether you want to put more money into the honeymoon because you want to create that memory and get away from everybody and just, have some quality time together, whether you want to put one of the others through school, like whatever that thing is that you guys are working on, the ring is just a symbol. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, the lack of communication on the ring or the proposal or the experience is a larger symptom of communication in relationships. He said we upgraded 10 years later. See, it's a larger symptom
And
because
then you got to consider this too, that
yeah,
the average woman, she's not really thinking about 10 years down the road.
mm,
A lot of times when a guy make a decision like, well, no, I ain't gonna get it right now, sometimes that could mean, man, I ain't got that shit. And I just don't want to tell you I don't have it.
yeah,
I'm I'm up to here in debt. I don't want to say that.
yeah,
So some guys be like, well, shit, well, let's just wait a little later on. And he working it out and how he gonna do it. And then, like you said, 10 years later, I bet she loved that ring and she probably was more excited than when he even asked her to get married because you're like, damn, I can kind of see now why he did what he did. He had to get probably in a better position in life.
very true. But again, communication, right? That comes with emotional intelligence and maturity because he shouldn't. And this is just me. I'm not a man, but this is how I think. If it was a case where a man said, I ain't even do that shit because he really felt like I need to get my debt paid down, I have priorities, I got to get things in line, that should be something he should be able to say to her. If
All
he,
right,
as a
so
person in that relationship, doesn't feel comfortable enough to talk about them finances and make sure they're on the same page, they don't need to be getting married anyway. They
well,
don't
I
need to be
don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I understand your point. But I feel like if I say for whatever reason, hey babe, not right now, let me get some things together.
Mhm.
I told you. I told you that what it is. I'm gonna get some things together, and that could be debt, finances, jail, probation warrant. I done told you. And if you're gonna trust me, then I may come back later on and talk to you about it. See, sometimes when women come and say, hey, I want you to tell me this right now, I need to know right now, and you just insist on that, sometimes
Mhm.
they drive him further in the way of saying it. Sometimes before that a man speak, that's a responsible man, he's figuring the whole situation out. So by him saying, hey baby, just not right now, I got you, but let me take care of some things. Then he show up with some smaller than you ex and all that. He just showing you that, baby, look, I'm still committed to it, just right now I'm fucked up. And then if
See,
you and if
mhm.
you keep pressing him, you're going to mess that up.
Here I am. Okay, I'm sorry. I got kicked off for a minute. And see, that's my issue. Cause no, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and again, I'm not a man, so I can't say that I best understand or have the right idea on it. But I just feel like if you are going to be in an experience with someone and say that you want to commit the rest of your life with them, if you can't come to them and say, I have debt. And right now, my priority is to make sure that I get these debts handled so that I can be a provider or I can make sure I cover the household or whatever it is that I have going on, he or she. And if that other person can't reasonably come to the table with you and understand that and want to plan and work with you to move forward through that, y'all need to be getting married. That's just the bottom line for me. If you cannot have those vulnerable conversations, whether it's about sex, marriage, long-term goals, short-term goals, what are your intentions? How are you saying that you're ready to get married to somebody?
I mean, I just think that because realistically, man or woman, everybody don't know everything about everybody. We know that.
True,
So if the
true.
man come to you, cause this could be his personality. Hey baby, look, I got you, but let me take care of some things. As a woman, my opinion, okay, baby, go ahead and take care of what you need to take care of. That right there is actually gonna make him say, okay, as soon as I get this together, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna tell everything. Like you said with old dude, 10 years later, I guarantee you when he came with it, he came hard. Cause he was like, man, she trusted me enough for me to take care of my business. I'm telling you, men ain't gonna discuss everything. It's a different track on that. We'll discuss it,
Yeah,
but you can't make him discuss it when you want him to discuss it. It's only gonna sound great
very,
and it's gonna be laid out if he do it on his own reconnaissance. If he
very
say,
true.
hey, baby, hey, let me talk to you, baby. You like, what's going on? Oh, that man, let me talk to you. Then
Yeah,
he may lay out all that shit, and you be like, damn, man, I feel bad because I was mad at you because I wanted what I wanted when I wanted. Men and women, we don't operate the same.
very
So,
true.
and then, like I said, as a lion, I ain't gonna tell you I'm gonna go out and kill some food today. No, I'm just gonna show up with some food.
And
I
see,
don't
that's
need
why you have to find the person for you, right? Because everybody communicates differently and our communication needs are different. So let me rewrap what you said from my perception, right? So I flew into Chicago today. That would be in line with me being like, hey babe, so I'm going out of town. Where you going? Oh, don't worry about that. I got it taken care of. I'm going out of town. I'll let you know when I land. I'm gonna handle some things, do my training, handle my business, and then I'll let you know when I get back to the airport and I'm ready to head home. The fuck? Like the average man is gonna be like, say, what now? You no,
no.
no, for real,
Well,
where are you?
the average dude that's mature, do what he gonna do. He gonna say,
Mm,
okay, all right, well, baby, you have a safe trip. Call me when you can. But what he's doing, he's gonna sit back and he's gonna examine the situation. He's gonna say, I give her a couple weeks and see if she'll come back and rap with me about it. Mature
mm-hmm.
man know that grown people do stuff on their time. We can't expect, hey, you gonna talk to me. What is on your mind? Nothing. Because I don't want to talk right now. But when I get ready to talk, I promise you I'm gonna lay the whole thing out. But will you be ready to listen? So, and the thing is, women keep trying to put themselves in men's shoes, and men keep trying to put themselves in women's shoes. You can't. When you say on your trip and you say all that, first thing I'm thinking, okay, well, shit, she got a lot of work. She'll call once you get free. Now, when you call me and it's, woo, baby, hey, this been a long weekend, man. Look, hey, you got a minute? Yeah, man. Look, this and that. You give them the whole rundown because you waited till they gathered their thoughts. See, sometimes when you hear a conversation, don't mean these folk thoughts are gathered. So when people
True,
say, "Let me get back with you later on," hey, I'll talk to you in a minute. There's a reason.
true.
If
But
we
again,
keep on
that's
trying to force it,
maturity.
we won't. You say what?
I said, but again, that's maturity, right? And the reason I use that example is because, and I think really we're still saying the same thing. You basically said, I'm reframing what I heard you say. Okay, he's not gonna necessarily trip in the moment. A mature, emotionally stable man is not gonna trip in the moment. Like, bitch, you better tell me. No, but he is gonna sit back and pay attention. Like, okay, it's gonna be based off of what has she shown me at this point that I know that I can trust her. He said, no, that's different. What is
That's
what is
right.
she showing me that I can trust her? What type of rapport or respect or communication that we have, right? But he's still gonna wait to see if I'm gonna come. And I guarantee you, if I don't come and give some details, it's gonna be some issues and some problems. And that's
But
all
guess,
I'm saying at the
but
same time
guess,
with the whole communication on anything else.
but guess what though? Here's
Mm,
the thing though, Miss J. I understand all what you're saying. But if that was you and I met you for the first time, and let's just say we meet in our 40s, around the age we are now, I'm
mm-hmm.
mature enough to sit there. If you tell me something like that, I wait and I wait and I have a time limit in my head. If it never come back up, I may say, okay. Now, if it happens again, the next step in my mind is gonna be like, that's just the type person she is.
Mm,
And that's not what I'm looking for. I quit messing with you. Now,
absolutely.
now I can come and say, well, let's talk about it. I could. But at the same time, I feel like at 40 some years old, you are who you are.
Yeah,
Now,
but
now
those are the
some
key
people,
indicators that let us know whether that's viable or not, or keep on skipping.
well, that's true. But at the same time, I like me personally, when I was dating or when I meet people in business or whatever, I like to see what you are going to do. I want to see you. I want to see the real you. I don't want you to do it just because I asked you, because at that point you're unhappy. I
Yeah.
want to look at and see how you do things so that if something goes down, I'm like, shit, that's just baby. That's baby. Don't give me no goddamn characters. Don't give me no characters, and then now you can't keep that character up, and then a whole different thing talking about the bad 3, 4 years down the road. I ain't gonna like you then. But if I see that, but if I see how you are, okay, like she ain't gonna talk to you right now, but a little later on when she get her mind right, have a little glass of wine or whatever. Then she coming up and like, baby, you know what happened today? Sometimes you just gotta wait and see how they do. And if they like you enough, I promise you, it will get relayed. You just gotta sit back and be patient, because sometimes we meet people and be a little excited about them and have these expectations. But we really should just sit back and watch them. Sit back and watch them. I promise you, they're gonna tell you everything you need to know about them, and then you can make a conscious decision to either go to or fro with this individual. Do you want to go on with them, or do you say, you know what, I ain't gonna lie, I already see later on this gonna be a problem. I experienced it before with a Virgo. I experienced it before with an Aries. I experienced it before with this type Capricorn. You know, and it's like that's how I do things because even in business, I can come out and tell you, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, unless it's something that's imperative to what we're doing. But when it's like in relationships, I want to see the real you. I
Mm.
want to see the real you. Do not send me no characters. Do not send me no avatars. I want to see how you do things. I want to pop up at your house and see the house either clean as hell or god damn. Ooh, this nigga here. Hey, it can be one or two. So that's how I view it. I want to see the,
God.
when you see the real person,
Hmm.
all the things that's happening between y'all, they're genuine. You know this is them. But if it's a character there, you assuming that's them. And then one day they got the mask halfway put on and you can see the neck. And now it's like, oh, I don't even like this joke. Female or male.
So I'm still a fan of communication. Jason said, I got one. When you're not in the mood and you say not tonight instead of saying I got a lot on my mind or I'm too stressed. And see that even that could backfire. I have female clients all the time, and I've had male clients that instead of the partner just saying, you know what, babe, right now I'm honestly feeling a little bit of stress, or right now I'm having a little bit of pain, or right now, whatever, they'll say, not tonight, not right now. And then the next time, and then the next time. And what happens is that builds a lot of resentment for people because they don't know what's the real reason behind it. Why weren't we intimate? Why we weren't getting our freak on? Why wasn't I swinging from the chandelier? Right? All they know is my person is turning me down, and that feels like rejection. So that's another problem. That's a great example of lack of true communication is what destroys most of our experiences in relationships because
Well,
people communicate differently, and instead of figuring out those languages and finding that middle ground, we're like, well, they should know what I meant. How is
well,
that?
but see, sometimes I think that communication is key. I 1,000% agree with you on that. But I think that depending on who you with, is either whether y'all were meant to be together or
Seriously.
y'all forced it to be together. And
Yeah.
I think in numerous of situations, everywhere around the planet, we meet somebody, we always like them physically first. Always. It's not a if and but, it's always physical first. Unless you had time to just work around them and then you grew to like them, but that's very rare that happens. But a lot of times, first thing you saw, like, damn, I like that haircut. Damn, she got some pretty eyes. Man, she got a pretty smile. Man, he tall. Man, he built like I like him. Ooh, I like that complexion on him. His skin is sparkling. Whatever the case is. When you start talking to those individuals, and then I think age plays a role in that too. But let's just leave it in the early 40s, early to mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You've been around enough people now to meet a person and see that how they acting to know if you really want to move forward. So
Very.
so that conversation really would somewhat be null and void with me trying to negotiate with a terrorist. I'm trying to just
And
think about just think about I'm trying to negotiate with a terrorist about something I know I don't even really like. But see, now it's almost like I hate to use the word settling, but for male or female, if you know you don't like a guy who's real nasty, you can say, well, I can look at it his way. And I can come in and I can be the cleaner upper. Or you can say, hey man, I ain't with that shit. I'm not gonna change my standard on that. This is what I'm on. Or this person bad with money. Or this person got a bad attitude. Don't know how to act in public. Whatever the case may be, what you don't like, pick their teeth in the public and shit. Whatever it is. If you ain't with that shit, you might as well just move on. But we trying to talk and negotiate with these terrorists. You got to remember the terrorists recognize the good qualities in you. So they may say, you know what? I'm gonna tell this motherfucker what they want to hear. And
yeah.
now they waste 3, 4, 5 more years of your time. And
Mm.
then now you sitting back second guessing yourself because you knew the whole time. And you saying shit like, man, I knew it. I knew it. I knew I should have. Man, I should have. Yeah, you should have, but you did because your ass, you were less. So for me,
Mm,
and now in my 20s, I agree with you 2000%. But in my 40s, if I had to get back on the dating scene now,
mm,
I'm always a great person, but I seem very brash because my comments or my statements or my questions gonna be direct. It's not
right.
gonna go around it. It's gonna boom every time, and a lot of people can't handle that. But the
Right.
person for you will respect that because they like, hey, Jay said not tonight. Now I know how she is, baby. Is everything okay? Everything okay, baby. I just got a few things going on. I'll talk to you in the morning. The
Yeah.
average real person be like, you know what? Damn, she always talk to me. So I'll wait till in the morning. It may be something that's traumatic. She could, you know what I'm saying, maybe diagnosed with stage 2 cancer, don't even know how to tell you. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing with the guy. So that's why when I think like the first time, maybe even the first couple of times somebody tell you, be patient.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, you being patient with them is more valuable than you pressing them to say something. So when they do come to you, first of all, baby, I just thank you for being patient with me. But this what's going on. They explain it. Then you be like, oh shit, man, I ain't know all that was going on. You damn near feel bad because you were mad because they wouldn't talk when you wanted them to talk. And that ain't right.
Well, I think that that's the beginning stages of communication when you establish that, though, and I think a lot of people skip over that. And I'm tickled. We're gonna bring this to an end in just a minute because I know you got to go and I got to eat. I've been traveling all day. But I'm tickled when you said the word terrorist because you know that's what they call us as Sagittarius. They call us Sagittarius, and and I and
They
I
about
think
right. They
they
about
about
right.
right, but I feel like it's a communication issue. You hit it dead on the head. Most of the Sagittarius I've known, especially the December ones, we are direct, matter of fact, and to the point. We seem as if we're going for the throat or for the jugular, and it's not that. We're just not mincing words, and we're choosing to be as clear and as straightforward as we can in order to mitigate confusion, right? To remove chaos and foolishness. However, going back to something we've laughed about in the past that you do tend to say, most people seem to want to be lied to. And so when we have someone that comes into a situation very direct, expecting the reciprocity of that directness, I don't think that a lot of people know how to step up to the plate and not only acknowledge it, but respond to it in kind. Most people are used to beating around the bush. Most people see, at least from what I see, are typically used to I gotta, I gotta pet them and I gotta dawdle and I gotta do all this fuck shit in order to get what I want instead of just putting it on the table and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I know I get that a lot, even in my friendship. Like I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I stand on that shit. And people are always surprised when they come back, but, and I'm like, no, but I said this. Remember when I said this? And I think it's the same thing in relationships, whether it's a proposal, whether it's talking about getting married, having kids. We need to listen to people. And when we hear what they're saying, we need to be able to decipher that based on what is it that they've shown me consistently? What is it that I know about this person? And ask them questions. Listen, if you don't understand what they say in the face value, ask them questions. Don't be like, well, hopefully they'll clear this up later. No, ask them questions, right? Get the information that you need. It's
But
not
the
being
only
a
thing,
terrorist, it's being a communicative adult.
but and you are absolutely correct if you found somebody who matched you. A
And that's
person who's not your match. That's like you got what kind of car you got?
today I'm in a Dodge Charger.
Okay, now with that Dodge Charger, put some Chevy fenders on there and watch what happens. The
Yeah,
bitches ain't gonna match. Now you can probably
yes.
dip them and try to make them fit and all that, but at the end of the day, it's not a good fit. So
Yeah.
when you go to putting the wrong parts on other cars, that's what you're gonna get. If you a Dodge Charger, what are you, the SRT8 or you the 6 cylinder? You know, so if you that, that's what you gotta get. You gotta get to them. You gotta get your speed because if not,
Yeah.
you gonna find yourself being a razor. You
Yeah.
raise grown folk, and that shit is gonna get so irritating.
You know what I tell my friend girls all the time? Listen, this is not the Build a Bear store, baby. You don't need no project men. You need a man that is healthy, well, and whole. And I tell my guy friends the same thing. You don't need no project woman. You need a woman that is healthy, well, and whole. If they're not willing to own their shit, if they're not willing to communicate, if they're not willing to address hard, uncomfortable conversations, if they're not willing to learn how to communicate in a way that makes sense to you and you in a way that makes sense to them, yeah, fuck it. Y'all don't need to be together. Perfect example, going using the car when I got in it. In my truck, I have to connect. I have to make sure my Bluetooth is turned on, right? Now, if it was something I was listening to recently, it'll normally reconnect itself when I get back in. Sometimes if I've been doing something else in my phone, I have to reconnect it. When I got into the Dodge today, I didn't have to connect anything. I didn't have to pull it up, go into the system, connect anything, do no pin. I didn't have to do anything. I said, wait a minute. It was both phones automatically connected. One was working the GPS, other one I was handling calls and text messages. I said, I need more of this in my life. And my point was, I think that is what relationships are.
See, you could have went and got a Kia Sophia and none of that shit connected.
Right. It could have been
But see,
Jamie.
you see what I'm saying? See, all this shit ran hand in hand, man. It ran hand in hand. And see, that's why because I want to make sure I make the audience or let the audience know this. I agree with 86% of the stuff that you say. So you got to B plus. You know, some of that stuff you just lean off in that woman spirit and rah, I'm still alive. But I think that communication is great, but I think communication is only valid to those who are worthy of it or deserving of it. Because you can sit back and communicate with a person and they'll hear every motherfucking thing you said and say the dumbest shit at the end of all them paragraphs that you spewed out into the atmosphere. And then you got to question yourself like, damn, are you smoke? You sitting there talking to this motherfucker? You ain't realized yet that they ain't. So sometimes we have to look at that thing like, man, let them be who they are. And I promise you, observe for your week, 2, 3 weeks. Some people get 6 weeks of observation.
Yeah.
That he or she is just who they are. Ain't no use of talking to the motherfuckers, Jay. You wasting time at that point. You like, come on now. You right here, see, you're messing with the third grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do it. And you know it, but
Yeah.
you do it because you like them, but you already know you liking them in most cases, especially as a Sagittarius terrorist, as you call us. You know that's gonna be like a trial period.
Yeah.
You having fun with them right now. You like them. You know he may be cute to you, or she may be like, damn, she that motherfucker be. And you play for about 6, 7 months. The next thing you know, your hand come around. They like, why you quit coming around? You like, you want to say, I don't like your hand like that. But you know, you're saying that they're gonna get on your nerves bad enough, but a lot of times you basically accept that and you're trying to let them down soft, but y'all too high in the air. They gotta both give that ground.
I agree with you. And to close it out, I'm going to say I agree with you. And I think, again, I'm going to stand on that hill that a lot of that fuck shit could be mitigated and eliminated if we would. I'm not saying get deep. We ain't got to tell all our deep, dark secrets in the beginning, right? That does take time. That takes time and patience to get to know a person, to build quality engagement. However, if we had basic conversations in the beginning, instead of jumping in the bed, like if you know it's gonna be a fuck buddy, do what you're gonna do, have your fun and keep it moving. But if you know it's something that you want long term, are you dating for marriage? Are you dating with the intention of having kids or a family? Are you dating for longevity, right? If that's what you know you're dating for, conversation. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand on it. Conversation.
I
Just
agree
some
with
basic
you.
conversations would mitigate a lot of bullshit.
I agree, but the only thing I disagree with y'all is that I think 80 to 85% of the day is penis and vagina interaction.
Yeah.
That's it. So, like you said, but I agree with you now. If I'm dating with the intent, like, look, I'm looking for a wife, and I want that, and I want to be in love with that grandchildren. Yes, we need to
Yeah.
talk about that. But we can't even talk about that until a little later on in the relationship.
Yeah.
Until I start seeing, because first of all, when I first meet you, that ain't even on my mind. Even though I may be saying I'm looking for a wife. But, or you, I'm looking for a husband. The first thing I want to do is see that person even got good sense. Let me talk to him. And you may talk to me in the first conversation, may say, okay, conversation 2 coming right up. All right, conversation 3, conversation 4, because I like where this conversation is going.
Yeah.
But my first conversation with you, that shit is bomb for it. It won't be a second. Definitely won't be a third. So that's why I say the conversation I agree with, but I just think that a lot of that we don't know until we just get to talking. And I believe in just letting people let water run down the hill. That ain't gonna stop the flow. But if you mess around and you interrupt them and almost prompt them to kind of lean into that, not into thine own understanding, you got your character at that point. And you don't
Very
want
true.
no.
Very true. And even if I'll close my thought with this. Even if we don't know, the right questions to ask and all those things, if you let a person talk long enough, they're gonna tell on themselves eventually. We just have to be willing to listen. Church said people are not going to be honest. Communication is a soft skill that is needed. Yes, we have to learn how to listen to what's being said and what's not being said. Before we close this out, because it's time for us to shut this down, because we got things to do today. What you got coming up, Benny? What shows you got going on? What you want to shout out to the people?
Well, of course, I always just recommend go to bennymac205.com. It'll take you to my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. It'll show you events coming up, the whole nine.
Nice.
bennymac205.com. I promise you, it won't steer thine wrong. Yep.
Well,
Hey,
I'm gonna ask
that's
y'all
it
to hop
for
on
me.
over.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. All right. Well, any dates? Do you have any particular dates that you want to put on their mind before we?
Well, Thursday, March the 28th, live at the Start On. You like comedy? I definitely bring you that funny for a little money.
Funny for
And
a little
that's
money.
it.
All
That's one that's up close here. So just don't forget Thursday the 28th and go to the website, bennymac205.com.
Boom. Well, I'm gonna ask y'all to hop on over to www.iamhealing1 for all your wellness and mental health needs and support. Remember, we also have our crystal shop where you can get all your goodies. Because who doesn't like a little sparkle and a little gift in their life every once in a while? With that, I just want to say thank you for those that continue to ride with us as we are making this transition over from Facebook to the YouTube. That you are commenting, you are sharing, you are helping to spread the word. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and bring it to an end today. And we will see y'all next Tuesday because we are live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come sit with us. Bye, y'all. Bye, Benny.
All right, Jay, you take care now. Don't come back with no accent.